Hi, guys, and welcome back to the 9 to 5 Casuals podcast. We've missed you so very much.
Yes, we have. And if you're new to our platform, this is a podcast where we discuss with entrepreneurs and young professionals on the rise.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and be sure to know that you can find us on every podcast platforms at the 9 to 5 Casual.
And welcome to our guest today, Bryce Fuschak. Welcome.
Hi,
Welcome.
Bryce. Very
Hey,
nice to have you.
Bryce.
So Bryce is a sales insurance agent at Family Heritage, and you sell unusual insurance, which I'm really interested in finding more about today. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Great. How's everyone doing today?
Good, really good.
What's everyone been up to?
Since the break,
Yes, it's a break.
Tell us
I
anything
can go first.
interesting.
I've been up to a lot
Okay.
and not enough. I joined a summer wellness program,
Okay.
and I did a hackathon as well, so that was fun.
Oh, that's good.
What's that? What does that entail?
It's you pretty much come up with code
Oh,
for maybe an
hackathon.
app
Okay.
or for a service that you can use with something. But usually, normal hackathons are 24 hours.
Okay.
But now this was remote, so
Oh, I thought you said hackathon.
There's
I thought
hackathon.
it is.
There is a
learning how
hackathon.
to hack.
We're not hacking anyone's computers or
Okay.
anything like that. We're hacking things together. So basically,
Okay.
coming up with something on
That's
the spot.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
My coworker sent me a link to register for this class that starts on the 6th.
For what?
Hacking. I know it had to do something
Oh,
with
actually
hacking.
hacking?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
I cannot remember the name, Trush, but I'll send you that information.
Thank you.
You might want to.
I've taken
get
some
into
security
that.
classes.
Yeah, so you might
about
want to get
hacking.
into that.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, Nanila?
Well, what have I been up
During this
to?
short break.
I've just been spending a lot of time to myself. My babies came back, so we've been spending a lot of time, mommy
they
and
go?
babies time though with their dad.
Oh, okay.
And also I've just been spending more time with God, reading the Bible. I joined this believers class.
nice.
So yes, we're going through the Bible, reading. Our teacher assigned different scriptures to us, and we're
Okay.
supposed to memorize them. He's going to test us.
That's nice.
And I've also been learning automation with Python.
Oh,
Yes, that's one
nice.
thing I want to have on my resume so I can stand out in the
Awesome.
crowd.
That's
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah.
And Bryce, I know we just met you, but so how has this whole quarantine period been for you?
Well, at first it's been quite an adjustment. I just started in sales and I went door to door, and then I've had to go completely remote. So it's been pretty tough, but I've kind of adjusted well, and I've gotten to do some things that I haven't been able to do. I've read a little bit more than usual, and actually keeping up with my grades. I'm currently finishing up college. I'll be done in August with my
Awesome.
degree,
Studying.
Oh, that's nice.
mass communication and journalism,
Oh, that's
Okay.
good.
Okay.
and hopefully one day be a sports journalist.
Interesting.
That's
Okay.
good.
This is good practice for
Yeah.
mass communication.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you and Didi? What have you been up
So
to?
I actually just got back from vacation.
Okay.
I went to Atlanta.
Anything
All right.
interesting?
I'll tell you later. But no,
I'ma grab my tea.
It was fun. The only thing that really shocked me was when I landed in Atlanta, the airport had a lot of people. Like during this
Like
period,
there wasn't anything
people
happening?
are just traveling.
People are having fun. They're
I'm like,
tired.
I was so
the
surprised.
flights are cheaper.
Yeah,
so,
they are. But
yeah.
I was just surprised.
If you're ready to risk it all, this is the time.
But the plane practiced like social distancing. The middle seats were all sold out.
Vacant,
Yeah,
yeah.
vacant basically.
so you had someone sitting.
no one in the middle seats at all.
But-
just on the
aisle
the
and
aisle
the window seats. Yeah, and they'll give you like a sanitizer when
I
you
don't know
walk
about
in.
that.
Yeah, so I mean, you had to wear a mask. So
The entire time.
yes, you have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
So
You can't die from masks.
Well, it's uncomfortable though. For how many
it is,
hours?
but it's for your safety.
Well, yeah.
So
I think.
yeah.
I don't know.
If you cannot keep up with the policies of the airlines, just don't travel. That's it.
Exactly.
I don't like to fly.
Pretty
anyways,
much,
so
yeah.
I'm good.
Pretty much. So, Bryce, so you currently work at Family Heritage. Can you give us a little bit about your background before you joined Family Heritage?
Absolutely. The past 6 years, I was a football coach at Antonian High School off of West Avenue, and I've been in the coaching. I've been a coaching family. My dad was a coach for 40 plus years. My brothers were coaches as well. One of them is still a coach right now, and I bleed sports, and I really loved it. And I've wanted just to switch to sales. I needed to make a little bit more income while still in college and stuff. But for football is like my main thing, and I wish I could still be coaching. But right now, sales was the best thing for me, and since training and stuff, I really understand how important what I'm doing is to people around me.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Nice.
That's good.
I'm curious. You were a coach for what sport exactly?
I was a receiver coach, football, and then an offensive coordinator the last 2 years.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't know much about football.
Yeah,
I don't know what
I
that
don't know much
But
about
you,
football.
so if someone
But
were
it's
to
good
ask
to
you
know.
to give like a very brief summary of what football is about for like some like football for dummies,
noobs.
not that we're dummies,
Yeah.
but like, would you be able to do that?
Yes, I
I
could.
don't understand American football.
I do not.
Okay, there's 11 players on the football field. Quarterback is the most important position. There's defense and offense, and you just plays just like any other sport. And the object is just to get it to the other side of the end zone for
And
pretty
score
much
a touchdown.
Yeah, and score a touchdown. Yes.
So who's stopping them from scoring? a
the
touchdown?
defense?
defense,
The
right?
defense.
Okay.
So 11 on offense, 11 on defense.
Okay.
So what's offense?
Offense is like
Oh,
your
so-
running backs or your quarterbacks. Quarterback's the person who throws. Running backs, person that runs it, and the receiver is a person that catches it. And then the
then
defense,
touchdown.
there's the defensive line,
Yeah.
who's
Oh.
the front, and then there's the linebackers,
Okay.
and then there's people in the furthest back who guard your receivers. Okay.
okay.
It's a tough sport.
It
Yeah.
is, and it looks very painful too,
I know. Very
Yes,
high
it's-
contact
Yeah.
sport.
It's but it is very.
because they suffer a lot of concussions. Too
Yeah.
sometimes,
Yes,
right?
yes, they do suffer concussions, but recently, thanks to science and stuff like that, we've really limited helmet-to-helmet contact, especially in practice. So that was really good to see. Back when I was in high school, we kind of threw caution to the wind, and helmet-to-helmet contact was normal. But now we used to just go full pads, which is pants and pads, and now we're shorts and then just pads sometimes, and no helmet-to-helmet contact, and it's mainly just across the bow, which means your head never touches the other person's helmet, and it's just touching their body, so it's a lot safer now.
That's good.
Have you ever considered doing another sport, or just football has been your main sport? Basketball, baseball.
Football, probably, because even though I do watch sports a lot, I still couldn't break it down and be like a coach for baseball or basketball and football. I just really love it, and I know a lot about it, and it's just, I love what football brings. It teaches you, and you're out in the heat in 103-degree weather. You battled mental toughness just as much as physical. So it's just really good, especially at a young age. That's why, even though it is a physical sport, even just flag football is fine. I just wish more kids would enroll in sports, because it teaches you so many life lessons
Yeah.
that you will learn as you grow older.
How to, yeah.
And what's the age range that you train, that you coach?
I coach from 14-year-olds to 18-year-olds, freshmen
wow,
to
okay.
high school, which I liked, because I would be a little timid coaching 7th and 8th graders, especially tackle football. They're little, their helmets, they just looks like a
Yeah.
lollipop,
Is it
skinny body, big head.
Is it more challenging coaching that age group?
I like coaching freshmen, the high schoolers, because like I said, they're more developed.
Yes.
They're a little more mentally tough as far as toughness wise, and just more mature, and I don't have to worry as much.
Oh, watch your words, or
Yeah.
like,
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
tiptoe around them.
Heat of the moment type of stuff. You may say something that a middle school kid may not interpret it very well.
Butt over
Yes, and like constructive criticism, I've learned, is one of the best tools to use as far as getting a player where he needs to get to, or to best possible benefit him, as far as when he get looked at in college or whatnot. You can't really baby them, or they'll just continue be like that,
Tough
and have
love.
that mindset. Tough love is
Yeah.
really, really good in sports, and I recommend anybody to be tough love type stuff, but you can obviously go over the top, but just
Yeah.
constructive criticism is great for sports,
Yeah.
because I mean, you don't want to be like very soft, I guess you
Yeah.
would say.
That's good. You don't want to be a yes man and like.
Yes,
you're doing
exactly.
great.
Yes, man is better.
Yeah.
Just right. You want to tell them how it is. You can't be like
Yes.
a mother or a father and
Yes.
say, "Does this look
I'm
good
your
on me?"
coach, like-
Yes, no.
So
I'm your-
that brings me to my next question, right? What are some major differences between a life
as a coach.
as a coach
Versus-
and then a life insurance agent?
Well, first off, as a coach, you have just a strict schedule. You're there at 6:30 a.m. until 6:30 at night or 7 o'clock, and then you work Monday through Sunday, pretty much. A lot more grueling. You're out in the heat. Just as a sales agent, when you're going door to door, you're doing the same thing, but it's just a lot more mentally straining on the brain, like as far as coaching compared to sales. Sales, you can you can plan your day more around like your job, not the other way around in football. You have a strict schedule, especially if you're subbing, which I did the last couple of years while I was at Antonian. So it's just a little different. The freedom, I guess you would say, you have a lot more as a sales professional than in football. But they both have the same like life lessons and stuff like that. You get in what you put in. You know what I mean? You're only successful as much as what you do. And so it's just I kind of use what I learned in football as sales, you know, so you got to hit the ground running 110% every day. Everybody matters. Everybody matters, whether it's the 72nd person on the bench or your number one star. You know what I mean? Whether you're super tired, it's your last call of the day at 7 o'clock. When you feel like you're done for the day, you make that last call, because that person could be battling something that you could really help them with. In your laziness, in your inconsiderateness, I guess you say, to not take that last call because you're tired could really, I mean, it's bad. You know what I mean? You just got to fight through it, mental toughness and stuff like that.
And I see that your experience as a coach and how you run things, you kind of move those same principles, right, into being a coach insurance agent, which is really good, because you are also applying what you've learned with those kids, or like the things that you guys do together, or those experiences. So I can see that's pretty much doing you justice.
Yeah.
I can't talk to them. What's going on? Sorry, it's been a long time. It's
I know. We'll just
was it 3 weeks?
It was 3 weeks, almost a month.
Yeah,
it really did. Yeah.
Oh, I need to get mine.
It went by real fast.
It's okay. We're here for
I'm
you.
back. Yeah. So, do you guys have anything else?
No. So, like, can you give some of the pros and cons of both careers? Because that's like a drastic, different, switch.
It's a whole different lane.
Different. What's the word?
It's a different lane. It's such a pivot.
Exactly, that's the word.
Thing,
Give us
but
some
you need
pros.
to help
Yes,
us out.
pros
I'm
for
here.
football.
As far for me.
Pros for football, as far as like sports, if you really like it, nothing's like more satisfying than out coaching the person on the other side of the field. Another pro is meeting those kids, teaching them life lessons and grooming them not to be great football players, but great human beings in life.
That's important. Yeah.
And for sales pros, I mean, wouldn't say I'm saving lives, but technically I kind of am saving lives.
Yep.
So saving lives, and just reaching out to as many people as possible,
That's
and being able to
coaching too, though, in a way.
Yes, it is, and just learning more about myself as well, and just getting out of my comfort zone. And same for football and sales as well. I was never really a public speaker. I like to talk a lot amongst friends, but being a public speaker terrifies me.
Same. I hate public speaking.
I'm not either. You should have seen when we first started this podcast. Yeah, but so why did you change from being a football coach? Why did you completely switch to being
sales agent.
Aside
from the income, like
life
more
insurance
income aside from
sales
that.
agent. Yes, why?
My family's has a long history of cancer, and then like I've seen a lot. I'm kind of avid on social media. I look at it a lot, and I always see cases and stuff like that.
Sad.
And at first, I just threw my resume out there on a lot of different sites, and then I got an email back from my boss now, Mr. Barry Bandera, and he talked to me, and he was really nice, and I was kind of on the fence, and then we did a Zoom meeting, and he kind of gave me like the gist of their company, and I saw that they really cared, and I found myself being a compassionate person, and I really wanted to just do something that helps. I mean, obviously cancer is something that it's really drastic, it's scary, it's life-changing, it's life-altering, and obviously I can't heal it, but if I can do something that helps someone when they're going through it, I wanted to do something like that. So I decided to sign up for that, and it's been a blessing so far. I was only doing door to door for a couple weeks until I went remote because I just didn't feel comfortable. But I ran into 2 families, and I'll be remembering them for a long time. The wife was battling cancer, and he was talking about how that he wished that he knew something like this existed, and it like tore me down.
A lot of people don't know.
And then another person, he got injured in an accident, and he wasn't able to work, and he was now he had to resort to selling some of his most valuable things, and not necessarily price wise, but like valuable to him and his heart. So that broke me too. So I kind of, when I started talking to more and more people, I realized what I was doing was pretty darn important. So even though it's been dry and it's been a little tough these last couple of weeks or month, I would say, because of this pandemic we're in, I'm grateful for the opportunity that they've given me, and hopefully I can help more and more families as time goes on.
And Bryce, just to be clear, the type of insurance you sell is cancer insurance.
It's supplementary insurance first off, and we have 4 different plans: cancer, accident, heart attack and stroke, and then ICU.
Okay.
But when I give my demo, I mainly go over cancer because that's the main one we harp on.
So those are the different types of
Yes,
insurance.
yeah, those are the different policies we offer. Yes, ma'am.
So then, like, what are the benefits of having those kinds of insurances?
Well, first and foremost, a lot of people understand how expensive cancer is, as it is.
Yeah.
But people don't understand the indirect cost of cancer. So if I were to ask you, if any of y'all weren't able to work for 6 to 12 months, how do you think that would affect y'all? Like financially, do y'all have is there like a magic tree y'all have in the backyard to dig out money?
I do have a magic tree, yeah.
Or like,
I have
It's gonna be horrible.
yeah, you know what I mean? And so
It's going to be pretty depressing as
Yeah,
well.
it is. It's going to be a stressful.
You can only rely on your savings for so long.
Yeah, absolutely. And the
Before that
thing
runs
is,
out.
when someone gets diagnosed with cancer, research shows once they're diagnosed with cancer, in 4 years, they run through the whole life savings.
Oh, yeah.
So then they run through their savings, and
The
then
in depth.
and like how we put it in the industry that I work at is, as your income goes down because you're not working anymore, you still got to pay your bills. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's right here. So that, you know what I mean? So as one rises, one just completely declines. So we help with that. What we do is we pay the person, pay the family directly to them, so they can fight something like this, and that they can have their whole focus on what they're fighting, whether it's heart attack, stroke, cancer, accident, ICU, and we pay as we'll talk about later on, help them out with bills, or whether we give them their choice to decide whether if they have groceries or if they have a bill to pay, which one we give them the chance what they're going to decide. So that's huge.
And I'm glad that something like this exists, and I just hope that a lot of people can, especially those who have cancer in their family. My aunt was she had no idea she had cancer, but when we found out, I think she was at the end stage. So my uncle had to fly her down to the Cancer Center of Chicago. They have one in Chicago, I think. So they used to fly her down there all the time. So you can't prepare for stuff like that, but at the same time, you have to. You have to insure yourself, just in case something crazy pops up. That's a way that you can care for you and your family. But if my uncle, has something like that in place, or like that type of insurance, they would have been able to take care of a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like flying her, she used to fly out, I think, once a week or so. So that's like you flying in and out of Philadelphia, going to Chicago, and then coming back, and then you have kids to take care, you have bills to
that
pay.
can get expensive.
It was, yeah. So not only are you caring for someone with cancer, that's just a burden on its own, and then you also have to worry about paying your bills. That's stressful as well, because the caretaker now, as a caretaker, you start having issues yourself, because now you're getting worn out. So it's just it's a lot. It's crazy. So
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what's good about us is we pay for travel, so they can go see the best if they have cancer, the best cancer, whatever cancer it pertains to, they could see the best cancer doctor in the world, in the United States. So that's what the big thing about us. And so we pay for travel. And wouldn't it be great if you could have someone pay for something like that, and so you can get the very best. So that's another reason why I always kind of harp on that, is about the travel, because like she said, it's expensive. Just a quick little story. A lady was diagnosed with cancer. She's actually from San Antonio, Texas, and she was rooming next to another lady, and they had to actually pack up, sell their house, and do all sorts of things just so they could get the treatment that they needed and stuff like that. While the girl that was insured by us was able just to concentrate on beating cancer. You know what I mean? And that's huge. It's so mental as well as
It helps
physical.
with your
Cancer is,
mental
you know what I mean?
state, yeah.
So having something like that in place is huge. And I understand, okay, your family's, they don't have a history of it. I understand that. But cancer plays no favorites. It doesn't have a set schedule. Okay, well, on January 31st, John, I'm going to infect him with cancer. No one knows. That's why I'm glad that people, because there's other supplementary insurances out there, and I'm so glad when someone has it, because that's half the battle. But I just wish, like, my job isn't necessarily selling people. I just want people to be informed that there's something out there like this that exists. Because before I started this, I had no clue. I'll be honest with you.
And travel is an very important indirect cost. So what other kind of indirect costs would you say your policy can help people with?
Just your lost income as well, your food and all that type of stuff, deductibles, your healthcare doesn't pay for all of that stuff, your medicines and stuff like that. My grandpa, he had great healthcare and he was lucky, but his chemo pills, they cost like $800 a round, and this was monthly.
Gracious.
So it's very expensive. So still those healthcare
And
pays.
insurance didn't cover that, regular insurance.
Well, the regular insurance, he had really good insurance. His covered it, but a lot of insurances don't. So like you're going to be stuck paying a deductible of maybe $250, $300 or something like that. So we give you that money directly to you where you can pay it in. Also for cancer, heart attack, we pay you right away $6,000 right into your bank account, just so you're settled a little bit. That covers bills for a little bit, food on the table, and so like you said, that's the last thing you want to worry about is finances when you're battling something like cancer. You have a bad accident, heart attack, stroke, anything like that. You don't want to have to worry about finances because that's going to put more stress on the body, which in return is going to maybe,
not gonna
you know what I mean?
help.
It's not going to go good. So you want to, and like the lady, like I mentioned, that had cancer and had our protection, she said she may not have survived if it wasn't for us because she had such peace of mind that her family was covered for the most part as far as finances, and she didn't have to worry. So all she had to worry about was beating cancer. And as everybody knows, that's a task in itself, and a task that I wish that on nobody. But I mean, in reality is 3 out of 4 families are diagnosed with cancer. Accident is the number one leading cause of death in between 1 and 44-year-olds, and heart disease runs rampant. I mean, so it's just all the stuff that we provide is in the top 5 list of like causes of death in the United States. So that's why I kind of harp. I've been on Instagram Live and all that stuff to try to get my message out there. And it's very hard to talk to people that are 20, 30, because like, I'll be honest, when I was 23, 24, I didn't care. But as I've gotten older and I've seen older people needing something like this, I kind of want to push it more and forward and stuff like that. So,
and that's $6,000. Is it for new time policy holders, or you have to have been a policy holder for like a long time before you can get that kind of money?
No, it's actually first time policy holders. You get $6,000, and it goes directly to you to see whatever you want to do fit. And also people I've harped on it too. We have 4 different rates. So and that's why it's because obviously insurance is expensive, and you definitely don't want to pay insurance that's going to really take food off the table of your kids or anything like that. So that's why we have 4 different rates, and they're all going to cover you in whether you get the premium or the elite or just the standard or base. Just as long as you're covered just a little bit, and what's good about our company is you can mix and match, and then you can also have what was I going to think of? You can also change your policy. You can start at base, and then you can go to elite as you maybe get more settled in your job or something like that. So a lot of that stuff.
Okay, I wanted to know, since you were talking about a lot of the things with the age range of the people you talk to, and as well as changing your policy, with other kinds of insurance as well, is this something that's preemptive? You would get it you would get it when there aren't any sort of symptoms for any of the things that you insure in your company. And then with that, what are some of the things that you would say are disqualifiers, if any, for some people who want to hop on your insurance? Okay.
For the first question, I'm kind of confused what you asked.
Okay.
But I'll tackle the second one real quick. You have to be 10 years cancer free. Okay, for the cancer one. And if you have any history of melanoma skin cancer, we cannot sign you up. But other than that, you're okay. And then for heart disease and stuff like that, pretty much you're qualified unless you've had a heart attack in the past 10 years or something like that. Then you don't qualify and stuff like that. But other than that, there's really little restrictions as far as not being able to sign up. But for cancer, you got to be 10 years cancer free. And unfortunately, if you have a melanoma skin cancer, you're disqualified.
Okay.
So I think you sort of answered both of those.
Okay.
What I was asking first was I was asking if, like other insurances, to get this, it would be a preemptive measure. So preventive, not when you actually have cancer.
Okay.
So that kind of answers both of those already.
Yes. A lot of people get it not because they just get it for peace of mind, and also our insurance stands alone, so you can have Aflac, but you can also have us as well, which is Family Heritage. So you can stack policies and stuff like that, and you don't really and you know what you get because we have it all outlined and stuff. And sometimes with insurances, you don't know exactly what they're going to cover, and so our stuff it's really easy and stuff. So that's why it's really easy and straightforward. And insurance is. Like even now, I still get a little confused when I'm looking at stuff. So it's been really, really nice.
I mean, we've talked a lot about, we focus more on cancer because we know cancer is the number one, I would say, killer. Even though COVID been killing people, but cancer is the number one killer. I mean, the other insurance here, right? You briefly discussed them earlier, the types of insurance.
Heart attack.
You said heart attack.
Yes, accident and ICU.
Accident, ICU, cancer, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I just wanted you to just for those watching to know. So so you've already gone over that. I don't want to ask you the same question over and over. So my next question is, how is this insurance? How is it different from the traditional insurance that we all have?
Well, it's just a supplementary insurance. So it stands alone, and it pays directly to you.
Right.
To see whatever you want to do fit, and that's like one of the main things. Instead of like going to the hospital or anything like that, it goes straight into your bank account. Okay. Once you file a claim, you get that initial $6,000, and this is for heart attack, cancer, all of it's the initial $6,000, and then you file a claim, and then it'll go directly into your account and whatnot. And also, the one thing that I know for sure that we offer and no one really else does is, in 25 years, if you file like no claims, or you get all your money back in 25 years, or when you turn 65.
All your money back.
Yep.
So
you get all your money back, but are you still covered if you keep?
And then it continues. Yeah, you're covered.
Really?
Okay.
So it's pretty much like a savings.
Almost like a retirement.
Exactly. It kind of is. It kind of is like like for 25 years, or when you turn 65. Minus claims filled, you'll get your money back. So whatever you put in, sorry, I didn't describe that as well. But whatever you put in, you get. You'll get whatever you didn't put in, you'll get back. Okay.
I just want to clarify because you just said it's a supplemental insurance,
Yes.
but it's standalone. How is that possible?
It's supplementary insurance, as in it stands alone from any of your other insurances. If you have any other supplementary insurance, or it stands alone from that, like it won't butt heads or anything like that.
Okay.
And yes. And like I said, 25 years, and then minus claims paid, you'll get that all back, or when you turn 65. And then also we have for 55 and up, for the older people, when they pass on, it pretty much is like a savings to their beneficiary.
Okay,
I was going to ask about that too. Yeah.
And so it's like a savings to their beneficiary. So once the two pass on, or whoever's on the policy, it'll go to either their kids or whatnot. So it's like that.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it possible that you can give us like the rates for like the base, the elite, like for people who are interested in like
how I put it is, if you're in the hospital, base is 200, standard is 400, premium is 600, and elite is 800, and that'd be per day. And that's how I was trying. It kind of cuts in half, and then for the first time benefit, like it's 6,000, and premium would be 3,000, and then 2,000 and 1,500.
Oh. Okay, it's interesting.
Yeah,
I'm learning a lot. That's why I'm quiet.
So are you able to like demo this product to a first time, someone who's interested in finding more about what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. They just need to contact me on my email or on a social media, and then I'll just set up a Zoom time, and then it's like a 10 to 15 minute presentation.
Okay.
And it's quite easy, and signing up it's really easy as well. And then that's that. And if they want to decide to book with us, then that's great. If not, at least they're informed.
And do you do like Zoom? Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Is there any down payments for the initial sign up?
You'll initially pay, and then you'll pay monthly after that. But then we also have then we have every 6 months, and then we have yearly if you want as well. But usually people just do the monthly. And like I said, there's 4 different rates, so anybody pretty much can afford
plans,
it. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so stuff like that, and then you get to pick the day, whatever's most convenient to you
To get the money,
to get the
take
payment
it
out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so have you ever offered classes, or like, do you set up a Zoom with multiple people, or just only that one interested party?
It's best to set up just one, just in case one's on the fence and one's really
Gotcha.
interested. They may kind of change the way they think about what I'm saying.
Influence.
So like, I don't mind it. Like I've always thought about, like, I would love to get in front of a lot of coaches and stuff and talk to a group of coaches or staff or anybody like that, or Target or wherever, if I go business to business. But then again, like if 2 or 3 are interested, but then a lot of them aren't, like naysayers and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and then kind of gets negative, and then a lot of them nobody's going to sign up. So it's best if I just go one-on-one. And like I said, it's just like a Zoom meeting or face-to-face if you would like to set a scheduled time or anything like that. It's really easy.
And apart from that, it also makes things a lot more personalized if you're doing one-on-one with someone.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I met this couple. It was actually quite remarkable. She was like 84, I would say, and he was, I think, 95, and he was still, what is it? Pops your back. He's still chiropractoring and stuff like that.
okay.
And he was 95, 96 years old. And we got to talking, and he had so many stories. And like you said, it's a lot more personal, and like you really get to know the person, and
connect
you
with
feel
them
it.
too.
And that's what drew me in, really. Not really the Zoom meetings. They may be a little bit easier because I'm a little more comfortable in my own home. But as far as face-to-face, talking to them, seeing their emotions, seeing where they're from, meeting their kids, meeting their animals, something like that. It's just more personal, and it shows that you truly care. Going door to door in 103 degree heat.
It's hot.
When there's dogs barking and scared of dogs and stuff like that. Like it's more personal. And the job in where we made our bones as a company is going door to door, meeting families, forging relationships that last forever. And so that's why, and that's what I was really drawn into. I mean, it's a really family-like business atmosphere at Family Heritage, and that's what I was really drawn to. It wasn't like your typical sales, a lot of typical sales jobs and stuff like that. It felt like a really family-friendly environment. That's why football, you know what I mean? It's a family environment. They're your brothers, you know what I mean? Brothers and sisters and stuff like that. So I felt that vibe when I got my Zoom meeting with my now boss, Mr. Bandera, and so I was like, okay, let me look into this. And then as I started knowing the company more and more, my trainer, Leslie Tyndall, she was excellent and great. And so like I just realized how close-knit they were, and I wanted to be a part of it. I didn't want to miss out. So that was, and like you said, how it translates.
Yeah.
So it was great.
So I'm just curious. So we've been talking about all the serious stuff. So like before the pandemic, you used to go door to door. Do you have any weird stories about you going to a house that you will never forget? Because I'm just so curious.
Well, there was this one kid that I asked, so when are your parents gonna be home? And he was like, oh, around never. And then he shut the door. There was that. And I was like, okay, a simple no would have been fine. And then there was my last day out in the field, an old lady answered the door in a gas mask.
What, you see what I'm
And then I
saying?
was like, it was kind
Stay
of
away.
great. I was like,
I'll stay
kinda-
outside.
Yeah, I'll stay outside. I
Yep.
understand. But overall, in Devine, Texas, they were really nice and friendly. But probably the best story was when that kid answered the door and kind of psyched me out. He was like,
Kids
"Oh,
can
they'll
be
be
so
around
rude,
never." And he
unprovoked.
shut the door on me. I was like, okay, I get the point.
I mean, everything's crazy. Everybody's protecting their families and stuff.
Yeah.
So with the whole pandemic, and like you said, things have been a bit challenging with selling insurance during this time. Yeah.
You think about like, how many more years do you see yourself doing this, or do you think you might switch to something else? Oh, you
I'll
said
probably go
sports
back to
journalism.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's your next.
Absolutely. I
move.
don't want to necessarily do like mainstream news, but something, I don't know if familiar with like Bleacher Report or
Okay.
something along those lines. I don't want so much influence from the top.
Gotcha.
So I wanted to kind of do my own writing and stuff like that. And obviously, I also want to start my own podcast and just
Nice.
branch out. So
Alright.
this is actually
Okay,
good.
so
This is really good practice.
We can collab.
Yeah.
Yeah. But first
We'll
and
have
foremost,
to learn some things about football.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but there's still right now in sales, FM Hatrons, there's a lot of brave workers there still going door to door. I just couldn't really do it because I battle a bit of anxiety, so it was a little tougher for me to do it. But for them, hats off to them, and I salute them 100%. And so just wanted to shout that out really quick.
So that's one positive, I guess you could say, you got from
Yes.
the pandemic, because now you can do Zoom meetings and kind of
Yes.
ease yourself into this career path.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It is. It's just like I said, it's cold calling, and it's a lot harder to do when I haven't really established myself as a salesperson
Yeah.
or in this company. I mean, I'm probably a month and a half in,
Yeah.
if that. And I started going remote like 3 weeks ago or something like that. So I was only out in the field for like a week and a half. So it's been tough. It really has, but it's kind of made me learn to persevere and battle mental stuff. And it's kind of, and like you said though, it's been a little more convenient for me. I don't really have to. I'm not really anxious when I do my Zoom calls,
Yeah.
and I'm in my element, more in my element, and I can go to the fridge when I want to eat food and stuff like that. So that's good.
Yeah.
Would you like to drop your information for those who are interested
Yeah.
in getting to know more about this process?
Oh, absolutely. You can email me at Bryce Fuschak, BryceFuschak @yahoo.com, or follow me on any social media platforms, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, whatever, at Bryce Fuschak. And then if you were
DM.
interested, just
DM.
just slide into my DMs.
Slide in my DM.
Slide in.
Just slide into my
But
DMs.
only for insurance. You can slide in for something
Yeah,
else.
he has a girlfriend.
He has a girlfriend, yeah. So back
That's
off.
interesting. Thank you for talking to us about all
Really
that.
very interesting
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
I never thought there was anything like this out there. Like, so it's very good information for
Yeah.
me.
And a lot of the things they offer are really good. Like
Yeah.
really the catching point for me is that $6,000.
Yes.
And then
Of
the
course.
travel, and then
Yes.
also giving supplemental monies for
And when you
important
turn
things like
65
groceries.
too,
You get
getting
the
the
money
money
You get it
that was
back.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's like a
Back.
retirement
Yeah.
fund kind of.
Yes.
So.
Yes. So minus, you get all your money back minus claims paid, obviously.
Yes.
And then what's also really good is if you file a ton of claims, you get a bout with cancer or something. Obviously you agree that you're not going to get any money back, but you also don't have to pay on top of what you already put in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a really good thing too as well. So I wanted to mention that. But yeah, we got a lot of good stuff. And like I said, my family was ravaged with cancer. My mom has had it. My dad's had it. My grandpa had it. Other grandpa had it. Grandma had it. Aunts had it. So we a lot of us have had it. So I really, once I got my boss's email and I looked into it, I really wanted to do it. I really wanted to talk to as many people as possible. So I thank y'all so much for giving me a platform such as this to kind of get the word
You're
out.
welcome.
And so I
You're
thank you so
welcome.
much.
And
No
I think a lot
problem.
of people watching this will also benefit. So before we go, we've been looking at ways to get in shape. So are you gonna agree to coach us?
Oh,
Football. You know what? I played flag football in college once,
I would suck.
and I sucked.
mean,
I sucked so bad.
Wait, but that's the whole point though. He's gonna coach us. Come on, guys.
Okay, so
Don't put him
So
on
what
the
do we
spot
have to
here.
do?
You guys
okay,
keep putting
Bryce,
people on
tell
the
us
spot.
would I play what? Would I play defense?
I want
Oh,
to
by our
do defense.
personalities that you've
By
seen so far.
personality, yes.
Okay, so you'd be the quarterback.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna knock you out.
Okay. You would be running back, and then you would be the receiver.
Perfect.
Okay.
So why? What?
So wait, what does the quarterback?
The quarterback,
Yeah.
you're
the
like
main person.
you're the
I'm
lead, like
right.
you're like
You're
the
the
leader.
leader.
You're the vocal one.
Are you
You're
going
like,
based on
Yes.
how tall she is?
well, height
And
does help.
have you seen my calf muscles?
height-
Probably going by that.
Height does help and stuff, but you're really vocal and
Yeah.
outgoing and stuff like that, and you need to
Okay,
really man the
perfect.
offense. You gotta
Okay.
Ready.
voice travels and stuff like that, and then running backs tough as nails, and then receiver your height as well, and you can't have two quarterbacks, so and stuff like that. So yeah, it'd be a great team.
I'm excited.
Yeah, because I mean, you live right here, so
I'm a
you know
receiver.
we can just schedule that time.
Did y'all play any sports or anything like that?
I
You said
used to
y'all were in
jump
choir and stuff.
in high school.
Jump?
Yeah, high jump. That's all.
Well, I
Okay.
play kickball, which is like is it baseball here, but instead of you hitting the ball, you
Yeah.
kick
Kick it-
it
oh.
and you run. I used to play that when I was in that was back
Oh,
home,
I
though.
loved kickball
It
back
was-
in the day in
Yeah,
elementary
it
school.
was really
What
it
did I
was
do?
really
I
cool.
wasn't very into sports. I did play flag football once for
Hey.
recreational purposes, but I also worked in the campus recreation, so intramural sports.
Yes,
Yeah, I
exactly,
did that a
exactly.
lot. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I coached football, but I wasn't the greatest at football, the sport, but I know a lot about it. But I just actually play flag football here in Almost Park in Alma Heights or whatever or not.
Okay.
They have like those co-ed football leagues, flag football and softball. So I've done both of those, and those are really fun. And I just like sports, and I encourage anybody growing up whatever to play some sort of sport, just because
Yeah.
of not necessarily the sport itself, but the life lessons it teaches you along the way that you
yeah.
can use.
You can apply that in your own personal life.
Definitely.
So we just want to say thank you so much for
Yeah.
sitting with us, Bryce. It was nice talking to you today, and I hope we can do this another time. And I just want to say thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. And when you launch your podcast, don't forget the 9 to 5 casual.
Do not forget us. And also that football coaching too.
We'll talk about that off air.
Yeah, off air. So guys, next week, August 15th, we have this amazing guest. He is one of San Antonio's finest photographer, Lois Alvarez. So please join us next week. You do
Yes.
not want to miss this podcast, trust me.
Hope to see you
Thank you
there.
so much. Bye. Until
Bye.
next